This is the Louie Tee Network.
In the L.A.B room.
Who else could it be? For me, Dormant. Louie Tee, welcome. You are in the L.A.B room. Of course, I'm your host, Luke. Thank you for joining me. What time is it? Playoff time. What time is it? Playoff time. Playoff teams in the house. Woo, woo, woo. Playoff teams in the house. Woo, 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 woo. This is the road to the playoffs. We're talking about the number 2 seed in the NFC, the Arizona Cardinals. Season started out pretty good for the Arizona Cardinals. They had gotten their signal caller back, Carson Palmer, coming off of knee surgery once again. And this team in 2014 was one of the best in the league until Carson Palmer went down with that knee injury. And he picked right up where he left off last season before the knee injury. This team scored 40 plus points in 3 of their first 5 contests, and they showed off the high-powered offense that would lead them to a 13-3 record this season. But in week 4, they slipped up at home to the St. Louis Rams to knock them from the ranks of the unbeaten. A couple weeks later, they go on the road in a turnover-filled mess, lose to the Pittsburgh Steelers 25-13. And in a 3-week stretch, they lose 2 games. They're at 4-2, but you're scratching your head and you're saying, about this Arizona Cardinals team. Not quite sure if they're consistent enough to be the type of team that many expect this team to become. Well, after that loss, the Arizona Cardinals proceeded to win 9 consecutive games, including some huge wins versus the Cincinnati Bengals, Minnesota Vikings, and Green Bay Packers, all of which were at home. But in that 9-game winning streak, no win was bigger than the Week 10 Sunday Night Football matchup versus the Seattle Seahawks. And much like the Carolina Panthers, the Arizona Cardinals had a demon to conquer, and that was the Seattle Seahawks on the road. And they were able to go into Seattle, play one of the best football games of the season, and win 39-32. That win gave them all the confidence in the world that they could not only compete with the best of the best in the league, but they are one of the best in this league. And so they got on that horse and they made a run at the number 1 seed in the NFC playoffs. But in week 17, after destroying the Green Bay Packers the previous week, 38-8, they themselves were destroyed, 36-6 in the final week of the regular season. Now, you could argue they didn't have much to play for because the Panthers were taking care of business handily in Carolina against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but they did not know that at the time. These games were being played simultaneously, so that was a tough loss to stomach if you are the Arizona Cardinals. But as Bruce Arians put it, maybe we just needed to get our brains bashed in. Maybe we just needed an ass whooping to wake us up. And so, Cardinals finish up the season at 13-3, the number 2 seed. They're playing good football still, despite the loss. They're still a dangerous team at home, and they're going to get a home playoff game. And they are missing the Honey Badger, a defensive presence and a leader, emotionally, physically, on their football team in the form of Tyrann Mathieu, gone for the season with the torn ACL that he suffered in Week 14 versus the Philadelphia Eagles, or 15, I should say. Can they overcome the injuries and that loss to end the season versus their arch nemesis in the Seattle Seahawks and get it done in this postseason and make it to the Super Bowl? Like they did in 2009, this time, win it all. We shall see. That's the Arizona Cardinals and their road to playoffs.
There's plenty more where that came from. While you're here, subscribe to the channel. If you want more Louie Tee, be sure to follow me on Twitter at In the Lab Room, or you can like the Facebook page at In the Lab Room. That's In the Lab Room on Facebook and at In the Lab Room on Twitter. Don't forget, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so.